Good morning, River Landing. Here we are for Mat Yoga. So glad that you could join me. We will do a little Pilates today, probably right towards the end of the class, the last 20 to 25 minutes. So if that's of interest to you, I hope that you'll stay and continue doing that with me. Just as a reminder, this is a class where we get down on the floor. If you're not sure that you can get up off the floor, then maybe this class isn't for you and we could do a chair yoga together at 11 o'clock. So just that caution, I would hate for you to be on the floor and you can't get up. So let's go ahead and start standing. We're going to put our feet in that Tadasana pose, and I like my Tadasana to be a little farther apart. Some people like their Tadasana to be with their feet together, so you choose how you like it to be. Good, I like it there. So let's stand up in that nice tall posture. Knees are forward, shoulders are back, but they're not so back. It's not a military correction. It's just a comfortableness. With the shoulder blades tucked in the back pocket. Let's close our eyes just for a moment, and if this makes you dizzy or sway, then just open your eyes and soften your gaze. You do not have to close your eyes at all. And just breathe, nice big deep breath. Good. All right. Relax. Think about the positioning of your body. Your toes are forward, your palms are towards your thighs. So if your palms are facing backward, I want you to roll through the shoulder with the palms facing towards the thigh. That's the way you should walk as well. Good. One more breath here. Let's open up those eyes, soften through your knees just a little bit because we're going to be standing for another couple minutes, maybe not a couple minutes, just a little bit longer. So I want you to turn your head to one side and then the other. Good, turn your head to one side and then the other. The whole time we're breathing nice big deep breaths. Good, bring it right back to the center. Let's tuck that chin. Keep your shoulders where they are. Keep your palms where they are, facing your thighs. Good, look down towards the floor. Good, now breathe into the back of your neck. Big breath. Good, and then let's bring that head all the way up now. I have a hard time standing in one place, and maybe you're a little bit like me. Let's take a wider stance, but the toes stay forward. Let's inhale those arms up. Cactus pose if you need them. And then we're going to turn and twist. Softness in the knees. Good. Inhale, lift. Turn and twist. Keep those knees nice and soft. Good. One more time. Inhale, lift. And turn. Last time. Inhale, lift. And turn. Just waking everything up. Now let's bring those hands right here. We're going to reach them up. Good. I want you to grab one wrist. We're going to stretch up as tall as we can. If we have to, we could be here with a bent elbow. You choose what works for you. And now before we do anything, I want you to lift and then come over to the side. And I want you to think about pushing your feet evenly into the floor. So I'm not leaning with it, not quite yet. I want you to keep those feet evenly weighted into the floor. Feel that stretch through the side. Can you come a little bit further over? Good. When I look up, I'm seeing my arms, so I'm not quite directly overhead. I'm a little bit in front. And inhale, let's lift. Let's do that other side. So we reach up and come on over. Feet are evenly weighted. Breathe. Good, and bring it all the way down. Let's roll those shoulders. Good, give them a roll. Now let's shift our weight as we roll, lifting the heel. Lift the heel. Lift and roll. Heels. Are we breathing? Breathe. Good. All right, now let's put those feet back down again. So softness in the knees, toes are forward. We're gonna lift those arms up again. We're gonna grab that wrist. Good, now I'm gonna really challenge your balance here. So I want you to lift up, lean over, shift your weight, and you're on the toe of that one side. So softness in your knee, don't lock out your knee. We're leaning over to the side. Good, let's bring it down, center it up. Grab that other wrist, we reach it over, we lean, soft knees, feeling that stretch. I feel it right into the lower back. Do you feel that into your lower back? Yeah. Good, and then let's bring it all the way back down. Let's bring those arms down, let's roll those shoulders. Good, so earlier we did the side lift. I want you to lift on your heels and roll your shoulders. Can you do it? Are we too wide? Do you need to come in a little bit? Good, that made it a little easier. Me too. So roll those shoulders, lift those heels, working our balance. Now if this makes you feel unbalanced, there's your chair. Use it. That's okay, right? We have our chair close by. Last one. Good. All right. Bring it all the way in. Let's kick those feet out. Good. All right, so let's just work a little bit on the motion of our hip before we get down on the floor and do some other things. So let's take one step out, and I'm going to try to stay on my mat. So if you're this way, where you're facing me this way, that might be easier for you. If you're facing me this way, then, try to stay on your mat. Maybe I shouldn't do this. It's a little off balance today. All right, so we're standing up nice and tall. Good, and I want you to think of a circle, what a circle looks like, and we're going to do that with our hip. So I want you to circle through that hip. Circle through the hip. We're in a split stance that already challenges your balance, and now we're shifting our weight. Okay, we're shifting our weight, making that circle. So when I first did my yoga training, my yoga instructor called this the Elvis pelvis. We're doing the Elvis pelvis right here. She had a whole bunch of them. Someday I'll bring them out and we'll do them all. And so reverse that circle. Reverse your circle. Good. So we're just working through that hip. We're really getting some synovial fluid to come into that hip. Anytime we move that hip, we bring fluid into it. As we get older, there's less fluid to bring in though. All right. And then let's bring it the other side. So here we go. Let's take that hip and make that circle. Good. Take that hip and make it a circle. Good. Make that circle. Good. That Elvis pelvis. Good. Wish I could remember some of the other ones. She had like 3 or 4, but this is the one I remember, so it's fun. And then the other way. Good. Circling, challenging our balance, working that hip, making that circle, keeping everything fluid. All right, one more. Good, and then let's bring that all the way in. Good job. So let's go ahead and we're going to get ready to come to the floor. So on Monday we will do more of the standing poses, the warrior series. So let's face the chair, inhale, lift, exhale, swan dive down, bending those knees, grabbing that chair if you need it, and coming down one leg at a time. If you need your towel or your blanket, have it handy. Maybe you might need it for your knees. Good, and then we're going to come back into that tabletop position. And as you well know, I like to do that cat and cow, so let's go ahead and get that going right here. So we're going to inhale and curl for cat and exhale for cow. Good. A couple weeks ago we talked about organic movement, and that organic movement is just something that comes from your heart and your soul, and it really doesn't have a definition. So with the cat and cow, we can have some organic movement. We can move our elbows, we can move our hips, we can do all kinds of fun things, but keep that spine moving up and down. So you can do some of those organic movements with your cat and cow. Feels a little funky, right? You're stretching into the spine, and we're strengthening some muscles in the shoulders. So just that little organic movement feels a little weird maybe at first, but once you do it, you can really get into some of the sore spots into the back. All right, and then let's bring it right back to that neutral spine. So we're going to stay here for just a minute, building strength in those shoulders. So we're going to take one shoulder and bring it towards the same side hip. If you can touch your shoulder and your hip together, take a picture and send it to me, and I'll buy you a treat in the creamery. I don't think you can do it. All right, and then bring it to the other side. And bring it back to the center. Good. Now let's come down on our forearms here. Good. And I've been trying to work on building strength and doing some down dogs and those kinds of things. So let's go ahead right here. We're on those forearms. Just walk yourself back into a plank, keeping your bottom down. So if your bottom is way up here in the air, that is not a plank. We need to be down, keeping it parallel with the floor, holding for 3, 2, 1. And bring those knees down. Good. Now, from this position, I want you to go ahead and push yourself back. Push yourself back. Bring your head towards the floor, elongating through the spine. It's a little bit of a child's pose. Sorry, I'm going to move this. I think the feedback is coming from that metal. Good. So a little bit of a child's pose right here. Good. Now let's come back up. Let's walk back one more plank. So one more plank here, holding those hips down. Don't let those hips come in the air. Modification would be put those knees down, but I'm still putting pressure into the shoulder. I'm trying to build some strength into that shoulder. So you choose how you're going to do that. And breathe. Good. And bring those knees down. Now in this position, I want you to keep those tailbones up in the air. Stick that bottom back. Modify a child's pose right here. Or mimicking a child's pose. It's similar, but just a little bit different. Good. And then let's come forward, come back to those hands. And let's have a seat. Let's stay seated for just a moment here before we get down and work on our Pilates. So we're going to bring our feet out nice and long, sitting up nice and tall. Good. Pull out that skin. Oh, we're sitting up really tall here. Good. Just push those toes towards your face just a little. Right there, I feel a stretch without ever moving. But if you're ready with me, let's walk our hands down, keeping our spine nice and straight. Let's walk it forward. Ooh, until you feel that nice stretch in those hamstrings. Breathe. For those of you that want a deeper stretch, curl your nose like it's going to go in between your knees. Don't worry, I can't get there either. I don't know that maybe I could match a little bit. All right, now sit up nice and tall. So we're going to take one leg, bring it over the top of the other. This next part is not for you if you have knee problems. So for those of you that can, we're going to tuck one leg over. But if you have knee problems, that's probably not for you. So you want to keep that leg nice and straight. So we're going to pull that leg in. I want you to hug it in towards your body and take your arm, wrap it around, sit up tall, sit up really tall, and just turn. For those of, and flex that foot, don't let that foot be lazy. And so then we're going to turn. For those of you that want a deeper stretch, we can reach our arm up and then bring it to the back and leverage a twist. Now, if your doctor said never leverage a twist, then don't do that part, just do the look. So you know your body better than I do. All right, let's inhale, lift. Let's do the other side. So turn and twist. And bring it back to the center. Good job. All right, now let's take that foot and we're going to cross it over the top of the other leg. I'm going to scoot forward just a little bit. So I want you to pull that foot so the foot is on the floor. The one that was elongated, put that foot on the floor. And now we're crossed over and we're pushing into that stretch, stretching into that piriformis. This is a piriformis stretch that figure four stretch that we do a lot of times laying on the floor. This is what it looks like when you're seated on the floor. Good, now let's relax it back. Bring both legs out, give them a shake and a wiggle. Good, now sit up nice and tall. Let's pull that skin out. Sit up tall, flex those feet, walk it down. We're gonna do that whole series on another side. There we go. Ooh, feel that stretch. Pull those toes towards your face. And then if you're comfortable, bring your nose towards your knee. Good, and then let's come all the way up. Let's take that other leg, cross it over. And if you can tuck right here. Good, there we go. I'm not going to stay like this. I'm going to demonstrate it this way for you. Flexing that foot, don't let it be lazy. We're going to grab that leg, hug it in, and we're going to sit up tall, turn and twist, and just look behind. If you want that deeper stretch, we reach that arm up, and we turn and twist, and we look. Breathing, keep those breaths coming. And turn it back to the center. Now, I want you to lean back, cross that leg over, slide the other foot up. Now push yourself forward, flexing that top foot. There we are, figure four stretch in the seated position. Wow, right? Yow those hips. We gotta always get a good hip stretch in right before we do anything else. Yeah. Good job. Now back yourself off. Let's put those feet together. So a lot of times we'll pull those feet in like we're doing a butterfly pose, but for our purposes today, I want you to keep them a little bit further forward. So sitting up nice and tall, pull out the skin. If you feel like you're that person that's going to tip backwards because your pelvis is tipped backwards, I want you to sit on a blanket to tip your pelvis forward. Okay, and then we're going to come forward. We're going to either TP our fingers over the toes, or we're going to grab at the ankle, pulling your chest forward, pulling it forward, putting that nose between your heels. Can you do it? Don't worry, I can't either because I'm going to get tons of feedback. I don't know what that's about. All right, feeling those nice hip openers. And this is a good reset for us. Good reset. One more breath here. And let's come up. All right. So let's go ahead and lay on the floor. I'm going to try to lay this way and see how much feedback I get. Good. So come on down, bringing those elbows down to the floor and bringing your bodies down to the floor. Good. Oh, doesn't that feel good? Promises of what's to come, right? Okay. So let's think about Pilates just a little bit. So in Pilates, there's just a couple things I just want to remind you about. So put your hands right next to your thighs or your buttocks, whichever. And I want you to just keeping your hands on the floor. We're going to slide down with our hands towards our heels and then slide up with your shoulders towards your ears. Good, now slide down, hands towards the heels and then slide up, shoulders towards the ears. Last time, we're going to slide down, palms are still on the floor. I want you to pause right here and imagine I came and I pushed your shoulders back, and that is called imprinting. So we're imprinting those shoulders back. So sometimes I'll say, imprint those shoulders, because we might be doing a movement that makes you a little rocky, and so we want to imprint those shoulders. Good, so just release them for a minute, and then let's do it one more time. So I want you to push those shoulders in. Good, imprint them towards the floor. Good, and then let's release them just that little bit. All right, so while we're here in this position, let's go ahead and take those arms and watch around you. Make sure there's nothing that you're going to hit. And we're gonna do those arms, it's called angels in the snow. Oops, and see, I need to move. Let's see if I can move without making lots of noise. All right, so angels in the snow, it just has us taking our arms up and around and down. Now your legs here could be nice and long and straight. It just, for me, it feels better for my feet to be on the floor. My back feels better here. Good, so we're trying to keep those arms around and then slide them along, and now let's do the other side. So circle around the other way. Circle around the other way, watching anything that's in your way, right? Good, that's angels in the snow right there, working the mobility of that shoulder. Good, now let's bring those hands right back down to the floor, right next to your sides. This time, pull your feet up, and we're gonna work on that neutral pelvis. So I want you to start with a rock of the hip. We're rocking those hips up and back and down and forward. Good, so really rocking that pelvis. Good, and then I want you to come into that neutral pelvis. So little by little, little by little. Good, and then coming into that neutral pelvis. So almost to the point where you are moving, but it's so slow, and then you stop right at the position where your hips are not left, they're not right, they're not forward, they're not back, they're just even. So take your hands, put them on those bones that stick out there, and feel, do you feel even? Good, all right. There's something in my pocket, so I don't feel even. Not even. All right, so from this point, when I say neutral pelvis, this is where you want to be. You want to be in this position with your hips, okay? So let's take our hands, put them next to your side. We're going to take one leg, we're going to let it fall to the side. We're going to slide it up, down, and around. Working through that hip, slide it up, down, and around. So if you have restless legs, if you have a hard time sleeping at night because your legs get crampy or your legs just want to move, this is a great stretch for those, and it kind of resets things, and your body can kind of relax a little bit more. So let's do it the opposite. So we're going to pull it up and around and then slide it down. So up and then down. Good. So we did the reverse. Good. So this is a great before bed kind of hip stretch to kind of get the legs moving so they stop wanting to move when you're sleeping thing. Last one right here. Good. Now let's do the other side. So we're going to take that leg, we're going to let it fall open and make that circle into the hip. Good. Circle into the hip. Good. You should try to extend that leg all the way down if you can. Good. What happened to your neutral pelvis? Are you rocking back and forth a little bit? I was too. So push those shoulders back, imprint just that little bit, neutralize your pelvis, and see how that becomes more about the abdominals. It's not all about the abdominals, but it makes you stay in one spot because you're using those tummy muscles. All right, last one right here. Good. All right, so now I want you to bring those legs up, give your knees a hug, because Pilates involves stretching too. It's not just all about the strength, right? Sometimes we get a break. So pull those knees in. Good. Now, I want you to bring those legs out like you fell back in a chair. So if they could be here, or if you're an advanced Pilates person, you've done this for a while and you have the abdominal strength, your legs could be here, you're pushing into your heels. From here we go into the hundreds. So the hundreds lifts us up with our head and chest, hands are by our sides. We could be right here, and we're going to play the drum. We're going to go sniff, 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 blow, 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 blow. Sniff, 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 blow, 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 blow. Good, and so we're keep going. We're really moving that air right next to your sides. Lifting through the head and chest. Good, that was about halfway. Sniff, 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 sniff. Blow, 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 blow. Sniff, 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 sniff. Blow, 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 blow. One. Let's do two more sets. Sniff, 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 sniff. Blow, 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 blow. Last one. Good, and bring it all the way down. Good job. Now hug those knees into your body. Good, we're going to lift the head and chest here. Good. If you find that you really struggle with the head and chest lifted, you can always put one hand behind or just leave the head on the floor and lift it when you can. So we're going to extend and then bring it back in. Good. Extend and bring it back in. Good. Extend and bring it back in. Extend and bring it back in. Extend and bring it back in. Let's do two more. Extend. That's the nice thing about Pilates is we don't have to do hundreds and hundreds. And then let's bring that all the way back down. Good. All right. So extend one leg out, keeping the other leg bent. We're going to take the arm that's right by there, touch the heel. If you can, lift the head and chest, and we're going to switch and switch. Now, if you're way up here, that's perfectly fine. You're just not using as many muscles as you would if you were down here with that head and chest lifted. And I have the same struggle you do. I find that it's hard for me to keep my head lifted sometimes. Good. So keep switching if you can. Take the head, give it a rest when you need to. Let's do two more. And last one. Good. All right, now one leg comes out, the other leg comes up. Good. Lifting that head and chest right here. We bounce 1, 2, 3, and we switch. 1, 2, 3, and switch. 1, 2, and switch. And switch. Good. Try to think about neutral pelvis here. We're trying not to let that back come up off the floor. Let's do one more. Last one, we have to do both sides. Good, all right, and bring that all the way down. Good, let's hold underneath those knees, bring those legs out in a V, push into those, push those hands into those knee pits, if you will, and feel that stretch into the hip. Good, and let's bring it all the way together, bringing those feet to the floor, arms come out into that T position, and we're going to elongate one leg and stick the other leg up in the air. We're going to make a big circle, like we're circling along the edge of an umbrella. This again is that neutral spine. I don't want you to rock the back up, and I want you to think about a little imprinting of the shoulder here. That's going to hold you a little more stable, and it's going to use more muscles. And then let's reverse it. Reverse that circle. We're drawing the edge of that umbrella. Good. All right, and then let's put that leg down. Let's do the other side. Good, so lift that foot up. A little turn of the foot is how it's really done in Pilates. A little turn of the foot with the toe pointed. And then we're going to make that big circle. Keep the neutral spine. Try not to rock side to side and try not to lift your back up off the floor. If you have to make your circle smaller to maintain that, that's okay. Good. Imprint those shoulders that little bit into the floor. That's going to help you be stable. And then circle the other way. Circle the other way. Good. One more. Oh, I can feel those abdominal muscles working. Can you? Let's bring those feet to the floor. Let's do a little stretch here. So let's just rock it side to side, not letting the knees hit the floor. It's just a side-to-side movement. Good. All right, very good. Okay, so let's bring those legs up again, and those hands are right by your sides. Shooting those heels up to the floor. Let's put those heels together. That kind of helps, turning those toes ever so slightly. Good. And we're going to bring those legs down And then when you feel your back start coming up, I want you to go ahead and lift right here. So bring it down. And then once that back starts to lift, we bring those legs back up. For some of us, it's further than others. Your body is different than mine, right? So it just depends. So we bring it down and bring it up. Good, and bring it down. Bring it up. Good, so we're zipping it up right from the belly button. From the pubis bone to the belly button, zipping it up. Good, 2 more. And last one. Good, now bend those knees in. We're going to take our head and we're going to put our hands underneath it. So open up those elbows. I like this. This is one of my favorite parts. We could take those thumbs and we can massage the back of that neck, getting right deep into the back of that neck. Good, and from here, keeping those elbows open, we're going to do a crisscross. So we cross over to one side, extending the opposite leg. For those of you that exercise on a regular basis, you might recognize these as a bicycle, right? The more you keep your legs parallel to the floor, the harder it is. Good, so you decide. Good, if your feet are way up here, that's fine. You're just not working those muscles quite as much. Now I want you to focus on looking behind you, keeping those elbows open. So if I were to stand behind you, you could tell me how many chigger bites I got when I was out in the woods the other day. I got a few on my ankles. All right, let's do 2 more. And last one. Good, bring it all the way down. Let's bring those legs in. Give them a hug one more time. Good, bring those hands right next to you. Heels are together, turn out those toes. We're going to come down, make a circle, and bring it back up. Good, make a circle and bring it back up. Same philosophy as earlier. So once you feel the back pop up, it's time to make your circle. You don't want that back to pop up. You want to try to keep that neutral spine. Try to imprint your shoulders. It's going to help with the movement. Good. All right. Now we are not doing any of the rolling poses, which I actually enjoy those rolling poses. I didn't in the beginning. Now reverse your circle. But it's just, I don't know what your flooring is like, and I know this floor is really hard. So I don't want to do that to my spine. So once we get back in the studio, we'll do some rolls too. All right. Are you feeling those muscles? We reverse that circle. 2 more. Last one. Oh, good. Let's put those feet on the floor. Good. Let's let those legs fall to one side, turning your head to the other. Feeling that nice spinal twist. And relaxing just with a breath. Good, bring those knees up. Let's go to that other side. Turning that head. Good, and bring those knees all the way up. Coming back to that neutral spine. We have 1 more to do, and then we'll do some stretching, and then it'll be time for Shavasana. So let's bring those feet back up. Good. I actually like to do this one with my hands underneath my hips just a little bit. I feel like it helps me be a little more stable. So I'll make a little diamond shape with my hands and kind of get them underneath the hips. So you decide what you like the best. So heels are together. I'm pushing those heels together. I'm going to make a corkscrew. So I'm going to go down, around, and up. It's an inhale and an exhale. Good. And I'm reversing direction. So it's down, around, and stop. Down, around, and stop. Good. Down, around, and stop. Good. And down, around, and stop at the top. Good. I feel like there were a couple that I missed for today, but that's okay. Next time we'll do more. This is probably enough, right? We're all gonna be sore anyway tomorrow. Down, around, and up. Down, around, and up. Good. Let's do one more each direction. Down, around, and up. And down, around, and up. Good. All right. Now let's hold one leg in and extend that other leg towards the floor. Feeling that nice stretch here. Good. Relaxing through that upper body. Celebrating the fact that we are done with the Pilates part of our exercise. And then let's switch sides. Holding that leg in. Extending the opposite leg. And then let's bring that all the way in. Let's hold those knees in one more time, pushing your tailbone up towards the sky. That feels good. I know we didn't do the back series, but we'll do the back series another day as well because we're running out of time. So let's go ahead and take our feet to the floor and extend those legs out. Reaching your arms up overhead and just stretching here. So stretching as though you were on that medieval rack. Whitney's pulling on your feet and I'm pulling on your arms, and we're going to make you taller, one way or the other. Good. And then bring those arms back over and take your left foot, put it on top of your right thigh. And I want them to stay together like they're married. And it's a happy marriage. So we're keeping the left foot on top of that right thigh, and we're going to grab over to that knee, and we're just going to pull that knee across the body. Notice I'm keeping my body on the floor. I'm not rolling completely here. I'm just getting a little stretch before we go Shavasana into that hip. Breathing. Good, then let's release it, take that foot, we're going to cross it over and open the other direction. Just pausing here for a moment, taking that breath, relaxing through that hip. Good, and then let's do the other side. Let's take that foot, put it up on the top, let's reach the hand over and pull. Feeling that stretch. Good. Now let's take that leg, cross it over, and open it up to the side. Ah, that feels good, doesn't it? It really opens into that hip. All right. Now let's take that foot, we're going to extend it back out. Hopefully now you feel nice and comfortable in this position. We're ready for Shavasana. If you don't like this position, find one that's good for you, relaxing into the body. Maybe the feet are on the floor, knees are together. Maybe we've braced ourselves with a towel, or even put our legs up on our chair. It's always fun. I like that. Being quiet for these next minutes, just a minute or so, really relaxing into that body. This would be a great time to turn off the TV if you want to do your own relaxation or take a little bit longer with it. Turn the TV off and just do your own thing. Remember to breathe, nice big deep breaths. very slowly. Bring your focus back into the room, holding on to that softness and that calm. Again, if you want to just take a little longer, go ahead and turn the TV off and just relax. For those of you that are with me, let's take our feet one foot to the floor and then the other, rolling over to your least encumbered position, sitting up nice and tall. Good. Let's take that big deep breath. Inhale, bringing those hands to prayer and those prayer hands to your heart. I realize I got up super fast, so let's take a breath here. Thank you so much for joining me in Mat Yoga today. I hope you enjoyed what we did. I hope it was beneficial for you and that you feel stretched and energized and ready for whatever the day brings. Namaste. Remembering that we can safely get up by coming to our hands and knees, and maybe your chair is close by and you can use that. One foot goes forward and then the other, and we're in that forward fold, keeping our knees nice and soft, walking ourselves up, taking a breath. And then coming all the way up, and we're ready for the day. I'll see you the next time.